I'm going to shift into English.
Let me introduce Dr. Mischa Paterna. Is here, Dr. Mischa. And let's see. Yes. Are you there, Dr. Mischa? No, no lo puedo ver. Mischa Paterna. Ok. ¿Podemos verificar si está conectado, doctor Mischa Manuel?
We're going to verify if doctor is connected. He's connected, but he's muted. I don't know whether he is in front of his computer, but he's indeed connected. I'm going to introduce him in the meantime.
Let's go to the next presentation. The Dr. Mischa Paterna from Apex Energy. He was born in Hamburg, where he studied economics and received his PhD. After working in Munich, 5 years working 5 years in Silicon Valley, he returned to Germany to found his first company, SunCycle, and then since 3 years ago is responsible at Apex for marketing and sales, driving the change toward a future-proof of hydrogen economy. So Dr. Mischa Paterna is going to present us about a case of study for hydrogen infrastructure and the projects at Apex Group. So please, Dr. Mischa, go ahead.
Excellent.
You have.
Yes, thanks for your kind introduction. Yeah, I had a little trouble here finding my right screen. Yes, we are very happy to be part of this seminar. We have, at Apex, started to engage with Chilean companies beginning of the year. So there had been already first contacts, and I hope we can use again today to enlarge the network and again help to gain joint insights on how to make hydrogen more applicable and successful. Let me see if I can share my screen. I've prepared a little. Is that visible for you?
Yes.
Right.
Okay, perfect. Yes, we are a bit maybe out of the ordinary, but being kind of the last of today, again, I would like to take you on a little ride, showing some real-world examples of our existing installations. So I think this complements a bit the broader view where we have shared from the experts data and of course insights on how we all believe that this transition will happen. And Apex has managed to be what we say at the forefront. Starting with 3 marketing slides here. We come from photovoltaic and have soon understood that without storage solutions, obviously the connection between fluctuating production of wind and solar and the need for reliable energy sources can only be bridged if you deliver a storage solution in between. And of course, this being sort of built around our hydrogen plants, which we already have, as I said, in production. You see our headquarter here in the background. That's our CTO and one of our 3 Mirais, which we have in operation. Apex, again, was very early. You all know that we have a national hydrogen strategy now in place, but that was published mid last year. We already started planning and then placing the first orders around 2 years ago. What you see here is our 2 megawatt plant, which I will show in a bit more details in a second, being deployed to actually deliver green heat and electricity to our own facility. The picture was taken last June. So in the upper left corner, you see the beginning of our fueling station infrastructure. Again, down there, you see some of the headlines we have displayed here. A closer look, have installed an electrolyzer from McPhee, a French company. We have used a fuel cell from Proton Motors. They are based out of Munich, and a combined heat and power plant from 2G. I believe also internationally a known company from Germany, and some storage containers in the background, and the storage container is kind of the only, let's say, own product which we have developed. Here a closer look. Today we have produced a composite pressure vessel. It's a Type 4. Carbon fiber reinforced, but in the first stage with relatively low pressure. It's certified for 60 bar, as you can see in the lower corner. It is able to be containerized, but the new development will increase the pressure to around 350 bar, which obviously enlarges the amount of kilogram hydrogen stored. And one of our development projects, which we jointly run with the LICAT, that's the Leibniz Institute of Catalysis, here out of Rostock, where we try to come up with a patented solution to actually work with formic acid as one of the possible carriers, which would then enable pressureless storage of hydrogen, obviously increasing the amount again which you could carry. The expected finalization from our scientific staff is somewhere around end of 2022. A short overview of what have we installed. If you look at the numbers again, we have a directly connected PV and wind park. We have the 2 megawatts enabling 150,000 kilogram per year. We have 180 kilogram storage connected. We do have a backup battery just for shorter reaction times, and out of this we have the full Monty of possible usages. We actually have signed a contract with Plug Power to deliver green hydrogen to the close by Amazon warehouse. We have a refueling station for buses, trucks, and cars, and obviously the described fuel cell and CHP. Here, a picture of our head of state in one of the last press visits, refueling a Mirai. Upper corner, that was a test drive of a Solaris bus. Honestly, the adoption rate of bus infrastructure in Germany is still limited, especially here up in the upper east-north corner. So that was the first bus operated in the state of Mecklenburg-Vorpommern. And below you see a Wüstrach trailer, 350 bar at 20 foot. Those are the units which we use to actually trailer green hydrogen to our customers. So again, the message looking abroad is we have practically already installed all needed components. They're up and running. We have deliberately choose to have a relatively complex system in order to now gain some real world data, which I think we all believe is needed to make investment decisions a bit more sound in order to help adoption of hydrogen plant solutions. One of the current development projects is that we are opening sort of the first CO2 neutral industry park. You see to the left in the green square, sort of our existing facility, and the red is which is in planning. The Rhodios production hall is kind of our first client. We have signed a 20-year lease for the facility, plus a 20-year delivery contract for green energy. For us, again, one proof of concept that even in those highly competitive sectors as automotive, of crucial importance, obviously, for us here in Germany, you see the pressure to actually come up with green solutions, and Rhodios pays a fixed amount of extra above market price for the infrastructure we provide. With this development scenario, we will increase, and that's signed with Siemens in 3 stages, up to 105 megawatt, the electrolyzer capacity. Apex is part of an IPCEI project. I'm not sure if Chalinians can relate to that. IPCEI is the abbreviation for important projects of common European interest, so not a very easy abbreviation. And politics from Brussels to Berlin, they've in this case selected 62 projects of somewhere around 300 million each, and we are participating together in a team with a long-haul gas provider, and we are responsible for the production. Then we have the gas pipeline going further down to cities like Leipzig, and we have a cement industry as a user also connected. And the goal is to obviously scale up sort of our little infrastructure to industry size units, and hopefully gaining enough experience to also help to drive projects beyond the German borders. Last marketing slide, we have put a KI, so artificial intelligence based in software on top to actually help drive and optimize the amount of electricity and energy needed from sort of forecast of possible production to the actual usage, including the storage capacity to manage sort of throughout the whole system on a very detailed level, being connected to the actual prices at the stock exchange, giving clients then the possibility to run their system at an optimized level. Last slide towards the Chilean audience. We are prepared to share sort of our experience. We believe we are well in a good position to actually deliver simulation and come up with a relatively easy configuration of potential hydrogen infrastructure. We can do the project planning, component selection, obviously construction supervision. Permission, I'm sure is different in South America versus Europe. And if Chilean partners are interested to team up, they would obviously need to bring the local market know-how, access to clients, projects, which I mean, mining companies were mentioned a couple of times, and obviously local planning and project management. And we believe this can be an interesting, a good fit. So sort of below the Siemens and Lindes of this world. As we all know, they are strong financially, but they don't provide the whole solution, and obviously take longer to actually move. And last sentence to that, as we all know, especially if you work across international borders on that long distance, yeah, you need to team up and build trust and have clear understanding of who delivers what in such relationships, and obviously that means moving from Zoom also back to personal meetings at some point. I mean, we are prepared to support that, obviously then in local language and not English and German. But today and those seminars like today and yesterday are obviously a first step to get to know each other. I have included my personal contact details towards the left, and yeah, hope that was a bit interesting, and wishing yes, our industry of faraway Germany. Thanks for your interest.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mischa Paterna. It's very impressive what is Apex doing right now. I wish to have here in Chile in the following years your equipment. So I think I agree with you that a strong collaboration we can have now between Germany and Chile. There are a lot of opportunities. It's actually a public tender in this moment open for the installation of the first hydrogen production plant above 10 megawatts. So maybe I can share with you some information because this is an industrial production plant. So maybe you can be interested in being involved in this initiative. So the tender is public, is open until September. So for sure we can share with you some information. I very like your CO2 project. It's quite interesting how you are managing the carbon reduction. So maybe we can also talk about those kind of initiatives. So thank you so much for your presentation. We will have a round of question later. We will have now a short video from the SIGRE Chile, and then we will continue with questions for this team. So thank you so much, all of you, and let us go to the video now, Alfredo.
Sí, muchas gracias, Patricio. Aprovechamos también de invitar a la audiencia.
Thank you, Patricio. Let's take advantage to invite the audience to ask their questions, precisely preparing for the next module of questions of the Q&A round to questions for lectures. Thank you very much.
Somos Transelec. Más de 500 personas y más de 70 años de historia como protagonistas del progreso de Chile. En la década de los 90, cruzamos el canal de Chacao por primera vez. En 2012, finalizamos con éxito la línea Maitencillo-Caserones a más de 4.000 metros de altura. En 2018, pusimos en servicio el primer túnel en alta tensión del Sistema Eléctrico Nacional. Hoy estamos reforzando el sistema con obras en el norte y el sur del país para hacerlo más robusto y posibilitar la conexión de energías renovables y avanzar así hacia la descarbonización de la matriz energética. Ponemos al centro nuestro compromiso de desarrollo sostenible y de responsabilidad con las comunidades vecinas, buscando siempre construir relaciones de confianza. Con casi 10.000 kilómetros de líneas y más de 60 subestaciones de Arica a Chiloé, somos Transelec, la principal empresa de transmisión del país. Transelec, uniendo a Chile con energía.
We all have something in common. We live on this planet, and this planet gives us life, a journey to fulfill, a future, and we all began that journey somewhere. For Hitachi and ABB Power Grids, our legacies are interlinked. From our humble beginnings in the copper mine industry over 100 years ago, both companies have grown globally, diversifying our lines of business, and both contributing to society with new technologies. This is the power that brought us together. And together, we can reduce our impact on the planet by bringing sustainable energy to more people. The challenge is laid out before us. It requires the vision to foresee a stronger, smarter, and greener grid, and the dedication to increase quality of life through digital innovation. bringing social innovation to every corner of the globe. To make this happen, we advance collaborative creation with our customers, academics, and governments. Together, we can encourage the next innovation. Only through co-creation and cutting-edge digital solutions can we create new customer values to make life on this planet better for everyone. Together, powering good for sustainable energy.
Corpa es ingeniería de vanguardia en transformadores de poder. Aseguramos la confianza y la operación continua de los equipos eléctricos, brindando un servicio completo de mantenimiento, montaje, reparación, asesoría e inspección para transformadores de poder y equipos eléctricos. Estamos comprometidos en el mejoramiento continuo de nuestro sistema integrado de gestión, logrando la satisfacción de nuestros clientes a través de un servicio integral, eficiente y eficaz. Visítenos en www.corpa.cl.
Ok, muy buen video,
Okay.
muy motivante, ¿cierto? Está haciendo
Good video, very motivating, presenting Sigre and all the associated companies. We're going to move on to the Q&A round. How long do we have, Victor? We're a little bit delayed. Sorry, Alfredo. We're a little bit delayed in time, but perhaps we may have one round. Yes, of course, there's time for one round of Q&A. We've got 20 minutes more or less. Okay, 15 to 20 minutes.
There are some international speakers, so maybe I would like to start with. I'm sorry, I'm going to start with Dr. Angulo first of all, because we interrupted the process of questions after her presentation. So, Dr. Angulo, can you maybe share with us what are the timing that you're expecting for in your project at the in Concepcion in terms of what are the outcome expected in the next following years, maybe briefly?
Sí, gracias Patricio por
Yeah, thank you, Patricio, for the question. The time ago, we were updating the timeline with the working team, and we felt this is, well, not so many years, but we looked at the timeline in detail of the Swedish project. of zero emission steel, and we felt more confident, but because that takes doing development of a new disruptive technology that somehow is challenging conventional technologies takes time, because obviously you have to burn stages and you have to ensure or warranty the performance of the technology at the different stages. We have an estimation that we might be with the technology in place ready to operate at an industrial scale. Hopefully, if we are lucky, if we are successful, bring in private partners who support us to raise funds for escalating within 6-7 years. I would say 5 to 6 years if we are lucky enough, 7 to 8 years if we take longer in getting funds and raising private capital, etc. Probably by 2028, probably we will reach in a good moment with hydrogen on the other hand has decreased the price in order to make the link, make the match. We've got all our economic estimations, the economic assessment of this technology of redox, of copper concentrate, and we've done with an estimated price in the future of $1.5 per kilogram of hydrogen. Probably in the north, it's going to be much less than that, perhaps in the central area, more or less there. But we are strongly convinced that is a conservative outlook. The price of hydrogen could be even better and make this technology even more competitive. Thank you, Dr. Angulo. In fact, I think you are mentioning a desirable price reaching those values. I agree with you in the sense that we might reach those values in the north and the south with renewable resources. Okay. While more questions are reaching for Dr. Angulo, I'm going to move to Dr. Dorner. Mr. Victor Dorner, could you please comment on it's impressive the plan Codelco has led in particular in terms of electromobility. We are very excited about the results within the next years, and the hydrogen pillar, we're interested on that too. Perhaps a question I may ask, how do you see this necessary infrastructure for this kind of project today we are talking about? You talked about hydrogen projects with Santa Maria University, but how do you visualize escalating these projects, perhaps in the more competitive aspects, going out of the laboratory, the semi-industrial? How do you see these industrial plans assessing the hydro rivers or hydrogen generation plants close to mining sites? Could you please tell us, in your last set 2022, because of corporate decisions, but the escalation of that, how do you visualize that along with the necessary investments, of course?
Victor.
You're muted. Okay, the second version of what I said is always better. I think, as I said in my presentation, reflections, we have to dare to innovate. We have to dare to challenge what we already have. That's the challenge. And when you dare, changes arise. That's more or less the necessary ingredient to keep on working and fulfill the goals, and perhaps being ahead of deadlines, ahead of terms. I think it is possible. In fact, from the electric infrastructure standpoint required for electromobility in general, this is an engineering and study work. We are under the process of sizing it to carry it out with the engineering process in progress. We know it's not going to be easy moving from pilot scale to fleet scale. The first leap, I think, is going to be taken by 2 years with transport, with a personal transportation fleet. We have electric charging stations we are implementing. We will have the energy from where we get availability so far, but at a given moment, we will have to build infrastructure, and that's an additional process. The answer is that we've got an investment process also for innovation to go along with the pilot and escalate them to a bigger scale. I didn't mention here, but innovation by Codelco, led by the Innovation Agency, is under a campaign of strategic alliance with different OEM manufacturers to move on this. And that also introduces the hydrogen or eco-process, embraces the hydrogen concept. What to move on like? Well, we will have to make pilot projects in agreement with different companies to try the different technologies, whether they are feasible all across the value chain, from storage generations. We've done a few works with energy, for instance, to perhaps it's going to be more convenient making a trade-off, restudy this, but perhaps it's going to be more convenient to generate hydrogen on site. And for that, we'll have to try the full value chain from generation, storage, distribution, and then charging station or hydrogen charging stations with the different processes. But we have to move on all the phases. That's the message. We don't want to be passive players, because we may wait till 2029, but it's going to be too late. Probably that we as company, as Codelco and other mining companies, are also seeing it that way. We will have to contribute with the development, the innovation and development of these topics in order to put even more stress on manufacturing companies of mining equipment in particular, to integrate with other companies or partner with other companies which might be hydrogen generators to materialize the projects which are useful for the mining companies. That's the mechanism we're implementing. And as I said, we are against time, I think, but we're hopeful, and we've got the will and we've got the energy to do so. Thank you very much, Victor Donner from Codelco.
Is there, I don't know if still with us, Dr. Mischa, Dr. Mischa Paterna? I would like to ask you also a quick question. I can't see him. Okay, just a quick question. If you are still here, I'm sorry, I can't see who is here connected, but maybe if you can share with us what is your vision about in terms of what you presented. What is your vision to Chile regarding your projects? For instance, in Apex, you mentioned that there is a big facility, right, in terms about 2 megawatts of power. So what is your vision to Chile? Should we go higher power, less power? Of course, there is economic trends, but what could be your recommendation? We are just prototypes. Project in Chile, very low energy and power. So what would you be your recommendation to achieve maybe 2 megawatts of electrolyzers and fuel cells, for instance?
Patricio, al parecer
Patricio,
el profesor Mischa se desconectó.
Patricio,
Mischa, there's WhatsApp, there's a technical problem by Mischa. He's going to figure out whether he can solve that. Otherwise, unfortunately, we'll have to send them questions in written, but he can answer them. But he has a technical problem right now. Okay, we're going to send those questions in written for him to clarify what's his view about these technologies within the next few years in Chile. And that's it. We will finish the Q&A round with this. And we ask a question for the first panelist. Dr. Fad was already asked his question. I don't see further questions by the audience. Therefore, we may finish, may wrap up here. Alfredo, Manuel, if you agree, if there are further later questions, we may address them by email. Patricio, thank you very much for the moderation, for leading this module. Very thankful to Victor and Marcela for their lectures. Of course, our international guests, whether because of time delay they had to disconnect or due to the technical problems they may have faced. Actually, we can see there are many things ahead, lots of challenges. We hope being aligned with the challenges we're facing and developing other collaboration Chile needs to continue developing this very important market. Well, I would also take the opportunity to say goodbye. We hope to be aligned with the expectations by the audience in the development of this seminar, involving both storage systems as well as the development of the green hydrogen market. Manuel, I would leave the floor to you. Very thankful for the opportunity to be able to participate in this very important seminar.
Alfredo, a ti, muchas gracias.
Alfredo, thanks you. Thank you, Marcela, Victor, Patricio, and all the panelists who we've got during these 2 days. Thank you, the technical team, giving us support, very important and necessary support for the broadcasting and for being able to do our trials and rehearsals. Thank you, all of them, the audience, absolutely, companies supporting us and sponsoring us, collaborating permanently to organize, and we're very thankful for that. And perhaps a last important message at SIGRE level, in SIGRE, for all of, because we've been asked internally, for all those who want to have a membership, this year, SIGRE France gave information a little time ago that from July the 1st, all those new subscriptions or memberships or obligations, both corporate and individual, will have the benefit of the year 2022. They will make 18 months valid. Whoever subscribes from July will have a membership for the remaining of 2021 and the full 2022. This information we are going to send by mailing on everything being behind a membership, both corporate and individual membership from SIGRE, with all the full information and the details. Another important thing, in SIGRE, the last week of August is present the biennial that usually is done face-to-face on site, but because of obvious reason in this pandemic world we're living on, it's going to be a virtual meeting for a full week. Around 5,000 people are going to join us. They will be connected with the different topics SIGRE covers in the 16 study companies where companies, people, consultants, few governments from different countries will be presenting about the state of the art of the electric and energy world and how companies in the 90 countries SIGRE is present are managing and operating the different systems. Thank you very much once again. Another message, the last message, and with this I'm going to wrap up with my intervention. The presentations and the videos we are going to be available and will be sent to all SIGRE members as usual at the end of the week, not later than Monday. Thank you very much and see you. It will be a pleasure to see you in the next meeting, which is in this case, the electric regulations, September the 1st and the 2nd. Thank you very much. Thank you, all of you.
Somos Transelec. Más de 500 personas y más de 70 años de historia como protagonistas del progreso de Chile. En la década de los 90, cruzamos el canal de Chacao por primera vez. En 2012, finalizamos con éxito la línea Maitencillo-Caserones a más de 4.000 metros de altura. En 2018, pusimos en servicio el primer túnel en alta tensión del Sistema Eléctrico Nacional. Hoy, estamos reforzando el sistema con obras en el norte y el sur del país para hacerlo más robusto y posibilitar la conexión de energías renovables y avanzar así hacia la descarbonización de la matriz energética. Ponemos al centro nuestro compromiso de desarrollo sostenible y de responsabilidad con las comunidades vecinas, buscando siempre construir relaciones de confianza. Con casi 10.000 kilómetros de líneas y más de 60 subestaciones de Arica a Chiloé, somos Transelec, la principal empresa de transmisión del país. Transelec, uniendo a Chile con energía.
we all have something in common. We live on this planet, and this planet gives us life, a journey to fulfill, a future, and we all began that journey somewhere. For Hitachi and ABB Power Grids, our legacies are interlinked. From our humble beginnings in the copper mine industry over 100 years ago, both companies have grown globally, diversifying our lines of business, and both contributing to society with new technologies. This is the power that brought us together. And together, we can reduce our impact on the planet by bringing sustainable energy to more people. The challenge is laid out before us. It requires the vision to foresee a stronger, smarter, and greener grid, and the dedication to increase quality of life through digital innovation. Bringing social innovation to every corner of the globe. To make this happen, we advance collaborative creation with our customers, academics, and governments. Together, we can encourage the next innovation. Only through co-creation and cutting-edge digital solutions can we create new customer values to make life on this planet better for everyone. Together, powering good for sustainable energy.
Jorpa es ingeniería de vanguardia en transformadores de poder. Aseguramos la confianza y la operación continua de los equipos eléctricos, brindando un servicio completo de mantenimiento, montaje, reparación, asesoría e inspección para transformadores de poder y equipos eléctricos. Estamos comprometidos en el mejoramiento continuo de nuestro sistema integrado de gestión, logrando la satisfacción de nuestros clientes a través de un servicio integral, eficiente y eficaz. Visítenos en www.jorpa.cl.